It's the 2025 Intellivision Homebrew Awards, hosted by the Intellivisionaries Podcast.
You were my love and my friend. I thought the game would never end. You tore out my heart without anesthesia. Behavior that's hard to defend. How could you put me in this position? I really miss my Intellivision, and now I'm bleeding from this incision. I really want my Intellivision. I miss your control and demands. Nothing to do with my hands. I won't leave my house. I'm in hibernation. A loneliness I understand.
And welcome, everybody, to the 2025 Intellivision Homebrew Awards. Right on. Great to see everybody here today. Great activity in the chat here. We got a great group here again. This is my fifth year with these awards since back in 2021. We started them back up again. And I think this guy, am I pointing in the right direction? This guy right here has been with me every year, haven't you, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, as has Jeff down below. Thank you, Jeff, for being here and watching the chat for us as always. So Jeff is going to look and make sure he brings our attention to any comments or things that we have to see in there. So appreciate Jeff being here and taking care of that for us every year.
Yeah, no problem, Pete.
Thank you, man. And of course, for his second year here, right below me is Rick Reynolds, the golden voice of the podcast.
Okay.
That's the way to put it. That's what you're called, man. Is that not it, Chris?
It's true. I was gonna say so. The dulcet tone.
It's fun to be here again. This is a fun show to do.
Right on. I'm glad that you like being here. We have a lot of fun with the podcast, and we'll talk a little bit more about the podcast in a minute. But first thing I want to thank as well, everybody in the chat who's joined in. We're up in the 30s or something like that now, so it's great. A lot of different people in there. You know, I could go up to the top and start scrolling through them all and naming everybody. Thank you to all the regulars who are here. Jeff, I do have to say this, though. Who do you think was first today, Jeff?
I'm going to go with Benvril.
Benvril was first, believe it or not. I think he's first every single stream I ever do, and I love it. Thank you, man. PJ Smith. Derek Bain is here. Good to see you, Derek. I'm glad you're here. For those who don't know, Derek is the creator, programmer of Mermaid Enchanted Ocean.
Ooh,
and great to see you here.
Very nice.
Diamax is here. I'm going to miss people, guys. I'm going to go really quick. Craig Finstad, probably the top tester in the field right now for Intellivision Homebrew Games. Thank you, Craig, for being here. That's awesome to see you here. PJ, did I say Salvatore? Carlos is here. Carlos Madruga is here. He'll probably have a word for us later as well in the show. I'm going to go real quick, just scrolling down. Torso, I think I said. I don't know if I missed anybody. Jeff, you can speak up if you can see anybody that I missed. I'm sort of scrolling down to get to the bottom. Famous Crispy is here. CC Mental is here. Doomer, great to see you, Doomer. Haven't seen you in a while. Always wonderful when you're here. Dar Swede, Jamie, good to see you, man.
Rev,
who's that? Rick Reynolds?
No, Rev's watching. He just sent me a nude again.
Oh, did he? Well, you know, Rev.
How did he get in the private chat? Not supposed to be doing that.
Okay. And scrolling, Bears fan Goomba's here. There's Rev right there. Beautiful. Good to see him here as well. Marlos Robert. Good to see you here. Haven't seen you here before. I hope you enjoy the show. And down to the bottom of that list. So let's talk, guys. Gotta get that off the screen. I got it on Rick. Maybe I should put it on the thing that bumps it up. It's gonna be over Rick all day.
That's Rick's.
We'll put them up and take them down. I just got to remember to take them
that,
down quite often.
Got that face for podcasting. It's fine.
You got the voice. The voice for radio, but the face for radio at the same time.
Exactly true. Exactly true.
Guys, what did you think about all the homebrews that we had in this year? Like we had 32, 33 games out this year. And there's a lot of things that changed in this community, whether it's the homebrew community or the Intellivision community in general. Didn't you find in 2025? It was really quite a year.
It was a good year. There's some really good games. I don't know if it's our best year ever, but certainly a lot of really, really solid games.
Yep. And
pleased with it.
I kind of think, and I'm not going to get into it too much because, but I think we're still living through right into 2026. But we saw, as soon as they announced it in 2023, the sprint effect, right? Or in at PRGE 2025 in October. As soon as they announced it, just sort of seemed to be a boom in television, and it affected the homebrew world as well. It really, truly did.
Particularly the wrong side of it, right?
Yeah. So it's a different world we're living in, and we'll address that a little bit, but it's something that we're also going to be talking about on the actual podcast. So, of course, you all know we've how many podcasts have we had out? One a year for the last 2 years, and they're quite extensive, right?
We're trying to average.
Yeah.
Trying to average this like what's the bicentennial? Is that a
thing we're doing? Yeah, it's an annual event. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a concerted effort at making a shorter but more frequent podcast by doing things like cutting back. Like we had originally announced our last podcast, we were going to be doing the 3 OpCo games. Well, now we have made a decision that we're going to do Naughty Boy. We're going to do one. Okay, and we're also going to do the Intellivision world is a different place as well with news and YouTube and things coming up. So we're going to deal with some more detailed things, some real general quick news maybe, but not the total encompassing news that we've always tried to do in the past. And one thing we're going to do in our next podcast, our next episode, is talk about this sprint effect and how it has changed the Intellivision world and the Intellivision homebrew world. Because remember, the Intellivisionaries Podcast isn't a homebrew podcast. It's a podcast about all of television. So we're going to look at the whole thing. Sound right, guys? Sound fair?
Yep.
We've had some good conversations on that, and we're hoping to get started very, very soon.
Yeah, I mean, we could start into it, but then what would we have for the show? So,
well, yeah, there you go. There you go. So just to whet your appetite a little bit, look forward to the next show. So that's good. The next episode. Throw these pages away as I get them here. That's good. Let's see. Yeah, we get these awards behind us first, and then we'll worry about the next Intellivisionaries podcast episode. Yeah, but let's get off that altogether. Let's get back to the awards, and let's talk first of all about how these nominees are chosen. The nominees, we have a nomination committee, which we introduced, I think it was 4 years ago in 2022, and it's gone from 5 to 7 people. The games are all given to the people who then make the selections for their choices for each category. Their nominations for each category. They're all added together, and from that, we get 5 for every category or 10 for the Game of the Year category. And the members of the committee are the 3 of us here, Chris, Rick, and myself, as well as Michael Linzer from Germany. Casey Nidall's on it. Jason Seidenstricker he's from St. Louis as well, just right where you are, Jeff, I believe. And of course, Steve Orth from INTV Funhouse. If you haven't checked out that website, I'm sure you probably have. It's a fantastic website. So Steve is also there. So the big thing, the big advantage when we created the committees was to try to create groups. Instead of having big, massive, long lists of nominees for each category, narrowed it down to 5, so it would be more refined. There's been some advantages. There's been some disadvantages. Because Chris, what is it like herding
cats? So many cats.
Herding cats. So it's really kind of slowed down the process. This year, it's a little bit earlier than last year. We got going a little bit better. It's a little bit easier, but we sort of refined it a little bit this year. And we didn't go back to the committee for each and every little decision. So that's why we're about, I think it was May 2nd last year when we had the award. So we're about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks ahead of that. But back before we had the committee, we were doing it in February, right? So anyway, gains and losses, but that's okay. At the end of the day, it's just more time to
Well,
reflect on
let's be
these.
frank. Part of the process is us having enough time to play through a lot of these things, right? You get 30 odd games. That's not a 15
That's right.
session. You need time to play these things to at least get a pretty good sense for it. You can watch, for folks that maybe don't have all of the games yourself or Casey or anyone else. There's tons of guys on the internet who are playing, doing game videos you can watch at a minimum if you're not sure. Get a pretty good sense for the game. But yeah, playing yourself is worth doing before you make your vote if possible. But
agreed.
It's also kind of a thing that like there's a massive surge of new games right at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we get them throughout the year, right? It's
right.
80% comes in the last 2 months.
Yeah. So you gotta try to get gameplay in of those to try to understand the game so you can do your choices.
So true.
You should just evenly have an exact right amount. There was a certain person on Atari Age who used to ask for games to come out because he wanted them to come out.
Yeah, this entire group and corporate, the Intellivision Homebrew community is just so organized like that.
We are not.
But if anybody in the chat is looking to find out and learn more about the different games that have been out in the past or the games that are out this year and what we kind of use as a basis for games or to keep track of the releases, it is not 100% the list that we use. We refine it, but I still find it's a very useful tool. That's Stupus's Intellivision Homebrew Scene Timeline Release, including variants, which is a thread in the REH forums in the Intellivision section. I really love that list. But it'll also show, if you go back and look at it, a lot of times it'll list games when they were announced. And what you will find is that if you look at that list, there may be some games that were announced in 2024, like the opcode games, that didn't end up getting released until 2025. So they're eligible for these awards. You saw them in the video at the beginning. So, and vice versa. There are games that are announced. You might say, hey, what was it? That was last June. Well, actually, it's never been out yet. It's not gotten in anybody's hands yet. So it'll have to wait till next year. What's the big box game? What's it called again?
Oh, the new one?
The Multiverse?
Yes. You got it right there.
Multiverse Wars.
That got to everybody in 2026, so that was not eligible this year, but it will be in next year's, even though it's on the list, probably for 2025. But it also, the Stupus list is very good because it numbers new releases, and it also includes, like it says right in the title, all the variants. And by variants, we mean games that were released maybe a year before, 2 years before, and are being re-released with new packaging. Good examples of that are the Sorrow of Godland Thur, and there's the Norseman too. Which is that a 1 of 1 or a 1 of 9?
This I think is the 1 of 9.
1 of 9. Pretty. Those particular ones are pretty restricted, but generally speaking, like let's say Death Star Strike. Star Wars Death Star Strike, which was released physically, distributed by Intellivision Revolution, published by Intellivision, is actually a game for 2024. There's the other one, Godland Thur, which was released in 2021 by Kai Magazine, but now it's re-released. So it's only eligible for as a variant. It's only eligible for the physical release parts. That's why you probably saw that in the notes. So that's just something to consider as well when you're looking at that list. At the end of the day, even with all the variants that there were, I counted about 3 times. I think I got the numbers mixed up a couple times, but just like the people in the chat right now, I think there were 33 games released and eligible for this award, whether it be just as a variant or not. So that's a great year. 33 games is a really, really good year.
Not a great year for your wallet, but
that's what I was going to chime in. The Reynolds wallet had a problem this year, but other than that.
All right, before we get rolling here, I got a couple other thank yous before we get going for being able to do this. First of all, like I said, thank you to these guys here. But I also want to thank Atari Age and Albert Yaruso because he hosted his website, hosted the vote again this year. It hosts the entire Intellivision forum, which is the big hotbed for discussion for the Intellivision community in general, not just the homebrew community, but Intellivision in general. And frankly, pretty much every other system going too, or have their own little sections in that Atari Age forum. So thank you, Albert, for all you've done for the community and Atari itself as well. I want to thank once again all the members of the chat. I'm pointing this way because I'm looking at the list of chat people. Everybody's in that chat. members of the homebrew community who have keeping this system alive. 50 years old, right? It's going to be 50 here soon. I think it's actually like 47, but oh my God, once you get to be 47, forget it, you're 50. Absolutely incredible.
It's all the same at that point.
Who cares? Yeah, it's like we're all old. We're all the same age in here. I think Rick might be the baby of the bunch. The rest of us are all friggin' about the same age.
That is a relative.
I was going to say, I appreciate that.
I'm not sure if that's true, but I think it is. Gee, Chris might be the oldest. I had to point that out. I'm sorry.
I am 57.
Oh, no, then you're the youngest. I'm sorry. I'm the oldest. Never mind. Well, if I'm right and you just turned 57.
Just a couple
and a half ago.
End of December.
Oh, no, okay. I'm totally wrong. We're born the same year then, just different months. So, but I'm still older. Damn it. And now for a couple of real important thank yous as well. First of all, thank you to Walter Pratt, one of the founders of Electronite and the founder of the original version of these homebrew awards, like Walter, each and every time that we do these awards. And last but not least, I want to give a huge thank you to Carlos Madruga, who came to me way back, 5 years ago in 2021, and had this idea to restart these awards again and asked for my thoughts and help in getting these up and running. And we've been working on it ever since. I got a chance to talk to him for 20 minutes or so earlier this evening. Always great to see Carlos. Yes, he is retired from Intellivision Homebrew Publishing or Programming, but he is not retired from the Intellivision Homebrew community. He's still around. He's still here, and we'll hear from Carlos later on tonight. So thank you, Carlos, for all that you've done and all that you continue to do. It's always great to see you when you can get on the stream. So I've talked a lot, but just before we roll in, it's time to get going with the awards. I do have a special announcement from the Intellivision Collector. Going over to my media thing. So let's take a look again at this newest announcement from the Intellivision Collector. I'm sure that you're going to.
Ooh la la!
Well, say what you want about these games. They're historic, wouldn't you say, guys?
Mystique is not affiliated with Mattel Electronics.
You know, it's just kind of interesting to see this stuff. I don't know. But we're going to see more of it.
On those boxes?
Say that again, sorry.
Was the programmer disclosed on those boxes?
Programmer, I don't think is being disclosed for those ones. He knows who he is.
Yeah, no,
you know who you are. Come on.
He does not feel shame.
No, he does not.
No.
But we're not in case everyone assumed we were.
Anyway, those are coming. The first two are out. Beat 'em and Eat 'em and Bachelor Party are already out. So Night on the Town and Custer's Revenge, the infamous Custer's Revenge, are coming. And there are going to be additions to them too. The different variations with from the original releases on the Atari 2600. Again, all I could say is this. They're historic, if nothing less, I guess. So kind of neat. All right.
But they're just a delivery system for new condoms, right? I mean, these things.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So without further ado, let's give out the first award. This one is for Best Puzzle Arcade Sports Title. Here we go. If I can find the right one here. Is this it? This is it right here. Here we go. Congratulations. There we go, right here. Rick and I got him up. Congratulations to William Muller, Homebrew Inc., and Mr. Do for winning the best puzzle arcade sports title. With some pretty stiff competition in that group, too. There were some pretty good games there from.
There were several good arcade ports in that list. That was
absolutely. So what, Rick? Tell me what your thoughts are on Mr. Do. You had your copy there. You guys have you played it? What's your history or thoughts about that game with the Intellivision version now?
Yeah, so this is it's a great copy of a great port, if I mean to say, of Mr. Do. But I'm one of these guys who back in the day, I think I didn't give Mr. Do much attention in the arcades.
Yeah,
like when I saw it, I thought, oh, it's Dig Dug, but there's a clown. Like, what? Yeah. And I don't think I gave it any time at all. And then since then I've played it some on MAME and stuff like that. And of course, there's a good port of it on the ColecoVision. But I can't say I've put a ton of time into it. I don't know the game well enough to really talk strategies and but one thing I know from playing it as much as I have is like it's deeper than Dig Dug. Like there's a lot more stuff going on in that game. I surely robbed myself of a good experience, I think, back when I was 13, 14-year-old Rick that was seeing it in the arcades and didn't give it much thought. But and this port is really good. Like I was playing it the other night. I was impressed with just the number of things on the screen, the way the sounds are, and like I say, I'm no Mr. Do expert, but like all that crazy stuff that I think is in Mr. Do, is in there. So it's pretty good.
Chris, what do you think? Like, is this one that you had much history with back in the day?
No, similar to Rick. I played Dig Dug a lot, and it's always my favorite. So yeah, kind of same category. But I guess I played it on the ColecoVision. Street back then. Not a ton though, so I don't have a ton of a connection to this game. But yeah, it's clearly really well done. Yeah. There's multiple ones, I guess. There's Mr. Do's Castle as well on the CV.
Right. Mr. Do Run.
What were the? Sorry, there's Kangaroo. What was the rest of the category?
Well, that's a good chance. Why don't we take a look at what the standings were in this whole category? We'll check what the votes were and how it panned out. Here it is. Bring it up. Go ahead, Chris. There's the different ones we had.
Not a bad game on that list, right?
No,
right. Oh yeah,
those are excellent. I really liked Kangaroo in the arcade back then. Spoiler alert, you'll hear me talk about how much I like Naughty Boy in the next episode. I had a weird connection to that. I don't know why I played it way back when, but I did. Road Fighter I enjoy. Phoenix I always loved, especially I played it a lot on my friend's Atari, I guess, back then.
Sure.
And, it was really well done. There's not a bad game on that list at all. Good. This is what I said at the top. This was a year of good, solid games. I enjoy all of them. So
I played a lot of Phoenix back in the arcade, and the Phoenix port here is really good too. I've really enjoyed it. So no question in my mind, it's number 2 there. It's a really, really good port of Phoenix. And I had never played Naughty Boy. I mean, we'll talk about this in the podcast, I'm sure. I'd never even heard of Naughty Boy, but man, is that fun too. Jeez.
It is a good game once you play around with the mechanics of it and understand how to toss. Fun. And like I said, Kangaroo, it had kind of the Popeye vibes of the going up the levels and punching stuff and whatever. I don't know, for whatever reason, I also enjoyed that game back then too. So yeah, good list of games.
I think that way that Mr. Do has all those votes, I don't think it says anything at all negative about the games below it, because we know all of those games are really good. It's just that shows how good Mr. Do was. Yep. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's see. Get that down off there. There we go. Right on. Okay, so I just wanted to mention a little thing too while we get this first category under our belts. We don't know the true identity of many of these programmers for these games. A lot of them are anonymous, which we'll see as they go through. I think of that category, 4 of the 5 were anonymous. Brian did Kangaroo, Brian Puddin. So thank you, Brian.
I just didn't. I don't like bragging.
I don't know if you should have said that, Chris. I think people
different people always bring up the fact that a lot of these games are anonymous per se. And we've talked about it before, but I have every bit of respect for the guys who's, I just want to make the game. I don't want to have any issues or whatever down the road. So we always are going to totally respect their wishes of remaining anonymous. So do you guys think that's a fair thing to say?
100%. If that's an issue to you, relax.
Yeah, there you go. I just wanted to touch on it a bit because people say they're all anonymous. There are a lot of anonymously programmed games, and personally, don't care.
Yeah.
But if it's an issue, probably might not. If it's an issue, resolving that issue is just going to mean less games. None of us want that. The last thing any of us want is less games.
As well, right? It's not just the Intellivision platform where people just leave it alone, enjoy the game.
True. All right. So on that note, why don't we move on to the next category? The next category is Best Action Platformer or RPG. I'm going to talk in a little bit. We're going to talk about categories, okay, but not quite yet. But for right now, let's take a look at the best. Looking for it. There it is. Here it is. Best Action Platformer Role-Playing Game. Here we go.
And action.
Congratulations, Luke, and Intellivision Collector for Best Platformer. What was it? Action Platformer RPG for Montezuma's Revenge. This is a real testimony to Luke's determination in getting the fantastic title over onto the Intellivision system, working with original designer and programmer Robert Yeager. Thank you, Luke, for working that out. Thank you, Robert, for working that out and helping us bring this game to the system that we all love so much. This wonderful game that you created many, many moons ago. But man, yeah, what I got to hear your thoughts right now on Montezuma's Revenge. Go ahead, Chris, because I know you like this game.
Yeah, we played it. Remember at the Opcode booth?
Yes.
3 years ago, was it?
No, 2023. Yeah.
2.5 years ago. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I strangely don't actually have much of a history with it, but I absolutely love it. This was for my no-brainer game of the year. Luke had given me the Portland copy from, was it last year? No, year before. Yeah, 24, right?
Yeah.
While it was still being worked on, while he was obviously still locking down the deal. So I played it a ton in 2025 into 26. Yeah. And and he admittedly gave me the cheat codes, which, by the way, everyone should give me all the cheat codes. So it's in bloody games and not
cheat
just
code?
Time. Who knows anything about that?
I haven't been told any cheat codes. I just want to put that out there.
You don't have them?
I don't think I do.
I don't think anybody does except for maybe you.
But you know what? Screw all of you guys.
I'm not in on these secret conversations. I don't get this stuff.
Anyways, the game is awesome. It's super fun.
It's
so fun. It's my favorite game of the year. And I don't want to say it wasn't close because I liked a lot of games this year, but it was my absolute no-brainer. Number one.
Right on. Derek said he played a lot of that on the C64. And I think that's what a lot of us did. Now, Rick, did you play it a lot on a different system back in the day, or had you played it much on any system back in the day?
I'm pretty sure I played it on the C64, but I can't say I played it a ton. It is one of those interesting, platformy puzzlers, right? You got to get this and get the key and figure out how to do that and go down 2 screens over and come back and you'll be on the other side of that thing you couldn't get to before. And mapping it and that was the kind of thing I enjoyed as a kid, but I don't have memories. Yeah, right.
Sorry, nerd.
I say as a kid, I still like that, honestly. So
It was last week is what we're talking
yeah,
about.
last week when I was doing this. But I don't have a lot of memories of digging real deep into this one back in the day. But yeah, it's a that kind of game is a super fun game. For me, the platforming is what ends up being the frustrating part. How many times am I going to try that jump? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's just my that's my gameplay low skill level kind of a thing there that haunts me when I play these games.
That's the difference between being 58 and 8.
Yeah.
But honestly, you should try it with the cheat codes.
Sounds like a thing.
They only existed. That you sort of hit on this point. The different people are saying it's great on this system, it's great on that system, and that was what I knew about it most of all. It wasn't even that I played it a whole lot. I played on C64, friends' places and stuff like that. I think I played Atari maybe, but the one thing I knew about it is Montezuma's Revenge was everywhere. Like in the 80s, there wasn't, the Intellivision was like the only system going that it wasn't available on. So now it's finally there 30, 40 years later. So it's pretty incredible in that regard too. But that was my history with it. Just that I played it here and there. It was just a game that whether you played it or not, you'd heard of it. Right?
Why do we not all hold our games up, by the way? Were we not doing that? Or?
I don't know where mine is.
I came out of the video holding mine up. I'm just saying. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I didn't. Here it is. Here it is.
There yay.
And just one quick talk. Remember, limited number available of these physical, limited number digital. Both are getting very close to the end. So if you haven't got your copy yet, get it soon, or you will not be able to get it. I sincerely.
Luke is in the. Maybe you could suck up
on.
make codes.
What's that?
Luke is in the chat. I was saying Rick could suck up and maybe get the cheat codes.
There you go. Cheat codes are awesome.
And by the way, Casey, stop talking about wall plants. You know what's cooler than wall plants? When your wall looks like this behind you, not a bunch of weirdo plants, Luke. Stop with the wall plant comments. You know I hate them. I hate them. I hate them so much. So there's a couple of wall plant comments in the chat there.
Did you play Montezuma on the PET behind you? The PET?
The pet. Well, that gets out. You got to get that out of my way there. There's the pet right here.
Nice.
Behind me there. I refurbished that myself. It does a great job.
Love it. All right. Oh, we got to go to the slide there and see what the standings were. We're finding the spot here. There it is. Right there. Oh, no. Yep. It's up there. Oh, what am I doing?
It's up. You're good.
It's good. Okay, so there it is. Best action platformer RPG. So that was pretty close. It was a pretty good battle there, but right straight through.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
That you may have spelled something wrong there.
I probably did. Where did I spell it wrong?
Second line looks a little off.
Paslista.
I was listening.
I got an extra S in Paslista, yeah.
I wasn't able to. I really like the Goonies a lot too. On all platforms, I know it's been released more than once, but that's a fun game too. Similar, I suppose, to Montezuma's. It's
got some similarities there.
Yeah, right on.
Sure.
Well, good to see good turnouts there with that. So,
yeah, Duck Hunter Portland was awesome.
Oh yeah,
there you go. There you go. All right, so am I done that? Okay, now on to the next cat. No, is that the right one? Find my page here. I'm getting lost. And now for the third category, we're going to give out the award for best original title. I like this one. I like this one a lot.
Title, or you mean the game is an original title?
The game is an original title.
Sounded like we just give them word to words.
Just got to clarify it. Nothing wrong with clarifying it. Smart ass. Here we go. And congratulations. There it is. Rick's got it. Congratulations to Rev from Intellivision Revolution, who was the publisher, and to Derek Bain, who's here in the chat. Rev and Derek are both in the chat, who was the lead programmer of this game. I think he had some work also was done on it from Oscar Toledo G and from Tarzilla, polishing up the game. This is a game that I think Derek worked on for a lot of years, and it was great to see the product that finally came out at the very end. So much fun to play. And I also want to say this. It was awesome to see, and I sort of alluded to it when we went into this. It's so great to see the original title category back in it this year, because it hadn't been in a year or two. And it just goes to show how the nature or the games that are actually released themselves, how they dictate what categories are chosen every year or selected, try to put together. And that's why they changed a little bit. There hasn't been an original title in a few years. One of the 5 years we had best hack. We've had best puzzle game. We've had different mixing up of those types of genres. But at the end of the day, we try to make categories that give the opportunity to recognize as many of these great games as possible, because there's so much great work that's done in this community by the work by the programmers, by the publishers, the investments by the publishers, the guys who do specialized graphics work like Justin Cheer, people like Tarzilla, who I'll call him. What do you call it? He's like the finisher or whatever. It's like he goes in and he'll perfect things. He's a perfectioner. He worked on so many different games, which his name isn't even on. Oh yeah, what are you going to say to that now, Chris?
You know what? It's too easy. I'm not gonna bother.
There you go. But you gotta appreciate those guys who do this, and it's great to see original titles come out. Everything doesn't always have to be a port or conversion, but we're gonna get into that next. But anyway, let's take a look at what the actual votes were. What do you want to say?
No, we'll leave the Tarzilla comment aside for a second. It's what I agree with this. I wish this category had enough entries every year that we could do this, because look, the ports, they're games for the most part. I mean, admittedly, there have been games the last few years that are ports that I don't have history with, and I ended up loving, like Azuma. Even it's kind of neater when we have a from scratch game, like in this case, this year's winner, Mermaid. I absolutely love the game. I watched you do a gameplay a while back,
right?
And it looks like a game I'm going to enjoy. And then obviously we got it to Portland, and it's probably from Portland. I think it might be the one I've played the most.
There you go. That's good.
Fun game. To me, falling in the same category as Old School is. What is the one I'm blanking out on? The spinning. Oh, The Show Must Go On.
Yeah.
Look, are they graphically the most amazing game that's ever? No, they're not. But the gameplay's fun, and that's what we should be after, I think, at the end of the day, right? So, yeah, congrats to Derek. That's a fun game. It's a well put together.
Absolutely. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Oscar and Tarzilla as well. But Derek, I think, what was it, 2015 or 16? That game was sort of started, and I came through, worked on. And Rev, thank you for sticking with it and bringing it out this year. Oh, okay.
You put up the numbers, or did I?
Oh, that's right. I didn't put the numbers. Thank you.
You got you got a few jobs, Pete.
That's why I have you here to keep me in line.
Few jobs.
Oh, don't put that one up. That's the wrong one. I had them in the wrong order.
Nudes of Rev earlier.
Oh, I got it now. There's best original game. And that's pretty good. Princess Liddy is very similar to Mermaid Enchanted Ocean, done by Marco Morero as well. It was in development for a long time. And end up getting a pretty decent little project out. Bubble Bobblish, I call it, right?
Sorry, I think they were both from the same contest we did, were they not? On Atari?
That actually sounds right. It was one of the Inti Basic contests way back when.
I think they were both from the same one, but maybe they were from two different ones. They just happen to both come out now. And Oscar, as usual, with one of his Halloween games, making the list as well.
Jeff, really, you like Public Taxi, don't you, Jeff?
Yeah, I like that one a lot. It's simple, but man, it's so much fun, and I think it really looks good too. I like the art design.
That one and Pumpkin Bakery, and I don't know. Oscar does such a great job on those every year. Man, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I do want to switch to Christmas games though. It's time. I know we'll keep. There's so many pumpkin games I think you can make. It's time for some Christmas themed games.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah. Okay, gonna close that down because I had it in the wrong order here. We're all fixed up. I had moved things around by mistake, but we got it back. We got it back now. All right, so short little break here. I didn't have quite enough time to run and get another beer, but that was just a little break in the action here.
That is a bit disturbing, if we're being honest.
Slappy does some pretty incredible work.
He does, but I found that a bit creepy. So I don't know.
You love it, you know it. All right, next up is the category which we talked about. Yes, we love to see original games, but we have to have ports and conversions at the same time. So this is best port or conversion. So I'm going to ask you guys, like I ask you every year, tell everybody what we're thinking or what it means for have a port or conversion.
He's pointing. Oh, okay. On my screen, you're not pointing to me. I don't.
He wasn't here either.
Okay. Yeah. So I do think port gets used kind of loosely in the gaming industry. They'll talk about port as just meaning it's another version of that game on that platform. But I think more strictly, a lot of times port has meant you did a conversion of the source code. Like you had the source code, maybe you got a hold of the assembly output for Donkey Kong and you're writing a new version of Donkey Kong on the target platform using the source code, as your source of what Donkey Kong should be. Right. And so when I think port, that's what I'm thinking of. And of course, back in the day, there were so many systems that were based on the same 6502 chip,
right?
That literally ports. You could just bring the assembler over, and all you had to do was tweak the way it talked to the graphics controller or the graphics chip or the sound chip or whatever another, and you were literally porting it over. That's not what most of these are, right? Most of these are re-implementations. They're taking a game and they're writing it on the platform with original code, not referencing the original source code of the game as a reference. But you're certainly referencing the gameplay behavior that they observe, direct. And so you'll hear them. I don't think it's like some kind of crime of terminology to call that a port anyway. but like I said, I think strictly port, the way I always heard it, back in the day was, you're bringing the source code over, as opposed to just re-implementing the game. Yeah,
that makes sense. It's so basically a conversion is a lot more work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends. It depends on like converting 6502 assembler to CP16 assembler. Maybe it's just as easy to write it yourself. Just depending.
Can you clarify for me what exactly he's talking about, Chris?
Well, I thought when he was going to push up his glasses and go, actually.
Hey.
All right. Okay. Enough technical talk.
My version is, hey, it's a game other systems had and the arcades had, but Intellivision hasn't, and now we do.
And now we do.
And it's a port.
That's my version. Or Glasses over here will tell you his version.
Hi.
Well, let's see which one was the best this year.
We shall.
Here it is again. Congratulations again to Luke Boudreau at Intellivision Collector, Montezuma's Revenge, best port or conversion of 2025. What do you think about that, guys?
Yeah, easy.
It's a great one. And by the way, in that list of nominees, you saw Police to Avenue Redux.
Yeah.
That's clearly a conversion, right? I don't think anybody would call that a port, given that the original was a text game, right?
There you go. Yeah.
That's
almost an adaptation.
Yeah.
A reimagining.
Police to Avenue Redux, a game by Mauricio Basab. I want to make sure that's in there because Mauricio.
Very good interstitial sections in there, Rick, that you're aware of.
Say that again, sorry.
Was there any interstitials?
There might have been some interstitial screens you got to worry about, So.
I feel like
All right, so we're halfway through all the awards, but just before we move on,
get the list.
Get the list. I apologize. You're a good man. Don't let that go to your head because I'm saying it, but
yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, he's all right. So there it is. So again, strong showings by several titles right there, right? I mean, Mr. Do was a very, very good port. Montezuma's Revenge, complicated, complex, detailed, credible port. Duck Hunter, same thing. Who would have ever thought that it could come over like that? So all very successful stories. What do you think?
Who would have ever thought that I tested 50 light guns separately on that game with Luke in my underground lair here, and they all worked. Actually, I think one of 51 didn't work. It's pretty funny, actually.
I would so love to have been there just to record the whole process of you guys buying them.
There wasn't as much. The buying part. The buying part was fun because of the way we found them.
Yeah,
but because they all worked, there was very little swearing. We had a system that we were with the resetting and
they're pretty resilient little devices, aren't they? Really, though.
Honestly, there was one I think was cracked, but it was like, we literally went through 50 plus of them, and the success ratio was awesome. So
excellent. All right, so before we move on, we have another announcement from Intellivision Collector, if I can find it here. And this is pretty big news. Am I ready? Here it is. So check out this one, soon to come. Pinguino, not very far from being released either, I don't believe. You find out, I'll let everybody know as soon as it's available. But we talked history with that game. I don't have any personal history with that game.
I think it's awesome that Luke flew to the Antarctic to film that segment at the start there with all the penguins.
It was pretty good.
As a publisher, you got to do what you got to do to move the product. I mean, that's
right. It's dedication. The dedication is
truly committed to the bit.
I played a good bit of Pengo in the arcade, and it. I remember enjoying it quite a bit, and I remember getting certain certain like bonuses and stuff. And like, yeah, this game's great. And I get through several levels. Then, like later on as an adult, I pull it up on my MAME cab. I'm like, how? This game wasn't this hard. What the heck? Why am I sucking so hard on this game? So, getting an Intellivision version will be super fun, I think.
Cheat codes. We need them cheat codes. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Cheat code.
I think the cheat code was already they uncovered it in the chat already and confirmed that it exists there for somebody playing Montezuma's with the cheat code right now.
There's a whole bunch.
Huh?
There's a whole bunch of cheat codes. There's different ones you can do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a lot. It's been so long since I've tried them actually that I probably would have a hard time finding them, but we'll look it up somewhere. All right. So next up we have, I think, Chris's favorite category, I always say. This is best physical product, which includes the artwork, manual, overlay, and extras. And I'm thinking that if we could, you'd probably like to give this award to all the candidates, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
All the nominees, wouldn't you, Chris?
This is a tough one.
I mean, we all love collecting the physical copies. And just the things that go into the games, the overlays, the manuals, the boxes themselves. But I mean, let's talk just a real short bit about the fact about sort of the economics of the Intellivision homebrew community with the fact, okay, is that in order to get new games, we still have to have these physical products because it's the physical sales of physical products that actually drives the Intellivision publishing market.
Yeah,
fair.
Look, no one's making money on these. Let's be super clear. As producers go, you see, you need whatever small margin there is there.
Yeah,
you need to sell.
Yeah,
probably at least 100 copies to make the economics of it work.
Yeah,
you know, these guys are getting their lunch handed to them. They're just paying out of their own pocket. So, you know, what's the incentive? And hey, we love doing this, et cetera, et cetera. And again, no one's like, this is, you know, I'm going to make a fortune off this. They're not. But it's nice to see ones like this where extra effort's been made. And, you know, like when we were 12 and 13 or whatever, we sat there and poured over the ads in Electronic Games Magazine. Then we got the games. We flipped through, we read the manuals, except Jason, who may or may not be watching. Maybe he'll watch this later. We read the manuals. The tactile part of the experience. I'm glad that we continue to do this. ROMs are great, particularly in the sprint world. We'll talk about that, you know, in the future. But you still need physical. Why did Rick and Jeff switch?
They just switched because now the things can pop up under Jeff and not over top of Rick's face.
It's off-putting, but fair enough. Okay.
Sorry.
It's insulting to Jeff as well, but that's neither here nor there.
Anyways, I can pick that up in a second. Anyway. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
hope the sprint will bring, we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but my hope is the spring. That's the new word. The sprint will bring, that's what I was trying to say. Some folks may be back to the physical part of the old school.
Absolutely. You know, there's room, there's definite future in digital releases even of former physical. There's a way to work it all out. They can go hand in hand and be successful, but we're not the place to really get too deep into it, just sort of introduce a little bit. But I bet you we'll talk about that in the next podcast too. You know, in quite a bit more detail. But I 100% agree with you, Chris. Hopefully it does get some of the people who just love the Intellivision and we're looking for digital releases to get back into the physical as well, because that's the only way really to maintain the entire community. Anyway, let's find out who won the 2025 title for Best Physical Product, Artwork, Manual, Overlays, and Extras. Back over to the right screen here. Here it is. Here we go. There it is once again. Yeah, got it all open. There you go. There's a blast for the past.
Whoops and daisies.
So then, great stuff by Luke again this year. But all of these candidates, like we said before, are absolutely amazing. I really got them all out to show you, like whether it's Montezuma, which you just open up and the great designs inside, or something like Brasilio, right? Yeah, the cart and stuff too.
With the lights in it.
The graphics, of course, the ability to change. We have the Portuguese copy and then the English copy. And look at the work that Ed and Grazie Mello put into these wonderful products. They're for the just how these get it up high enough with the magnetic box top that closes right up. I just got to show it all. The manual, and all three of them are the same. Foam all inside, the overlays, the cartridge is beautiful. The cream of the crop was Montezuma's Revenge as it was chosen, but it's kind of too bad that all three of these ones sort of had to run against each other because they were three of the best 30 going, right? So, but man, at the end of the day, all these products for us collectors, I think Rick, you're probably the most OCD one of the bunch.
Me?
That's not fair.
Me, the OCD one?
Sorry, Chris.
I think it's Chris, not me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I said the wrong name. Chris, you're the most dedicated, I'll say.
When it comes to collecting stuff. Stuff is a big part of it to me. I like sitting in my underground lair with all these goofy games around me. And I will I'll play it as much as I'll flip through the manuals and stuff. Steve just, Luke just sits there and looks pretty. It's about all he does, but the boxes that Steve designs are always awesome. I love the wraparound work that we've seen both from Luke and from William as well. There's been a few things over the years that we've seen done that I think really just takes it that next level. Luke's carts, those clear carts with the LED inside is a really neat, and just the redesign of those carts in general, the stickers, etc. I really like that. Mark does such an awesome job on the manuals every year. Like they're chef's kiss. Like they're fantastic.
Very good point. Like if you go through this entire list, it's amazing. Steve Jones Box Company, the work he does with overlays and boxes in general and artwork right across the entire community. Probably over half them are him, right? Thank you, Steve, for all that you do, and Mark as well with the did Steve do that one?
He did not, but this is where we started, right? And this is way back when with game number 1. And I mean, in their own way, they're awesome because they're awesome. But I mean, this is how it started. And when we look now, it's fantastic, right? So cool evolution. I really appreciate when people put the time and effort in on these games. Not just the game itself, but the whole experience, right?
Did I put that count up yet? Not yet. So let's do that right now. There's the count. Montezuma 23, Goonies 14. Quartetto, of course, it was a little bit different as well with it having two separate releases, the Portuguese and the English. Different styled boxes, different manual types, with the Carnival picks inside the Brazilian copy, which was pretty cool. And of course, Arian and Naughty Boy with the fantastic products from Ed and Grazie. So
all around. Code stuff's fantastic. Let me say it again. I've had it on the ColecoVision for a while with those boxes, but him bringing them to Intellivision was really cool. And they are somewhere behind me right there.
All of Opcode's products, not just the Intellivision, their 7800, their ColecoVision, are all in that style of box, which is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, where do we go to next here? Okay, and now I have another announcement. And this one is from Electronite. What does Electronite have coming down the pipe? Here we go. A lot of excitement for this game coming down the pipe.
Yeah. I already know I'm going to love that box, by the way.
There you go. Huh? Yeah, the game itself, like the original AF, is just it's not easy. Next year's awards will be competitive. You're not kidding, Carlos. That's absolutely true. Man, it's just like AF was a great game. It's hard. You got to put your time in playing it to get through the different levels and stuff. And this one looks like it's going to be every bit as good, just a little bit different style, more of the same but a little bit improved at the same time. So we're really looking forward to getting it. So right on. AF2 looks good. AF.
It was kind of sitting right. Good for you for doing it anyways. Attaboy.
Right on, right on. All right. Next up, we have the award for best graphics. And sometimes it's crazy to see the graphics that these guys can get out of this old. Oh, who's here now? Somebody's coming for a visit. I got to put her on for a second. Here she is.
Oh my
she's
goodness.
not spending much time in the basket anymore because she's gotten a little bit small and she's losing weight. She's lost about 10 pounds, but she's doing okay. You go on down.
Good to see Coco.
Good to see Coco. Hopefully she does better. Back to the vet soon. Anyway, yeah, the skills that they have putting these graphics together in this system are just incredible. When you think about where they were back when it started and now what they can do. So what are some of you guys' favorite graphic games over the last few years? Not necessarily this year, but just think back about some of the homebrews that you really, really love and some with the great graphics.
I'm a big fan of TNT Cowboy and the way the way that looks. I remember showing that off at Korg's one year, the year it had just come out.
Yeah.
And I had it on an Intellivision there, and I think it was somebody that in the gaming world. And when your character's walking through the town, and if you walk past the building, the shadow changes your sprite color as you walk through the shadow. Like you're in the character. Wow. And he's like, what is going on with this? that the Intellivision would, that much detail. So that's a great one for sure for me. And it balances really good gameplay. It's a really great one. Oh yeah,
there you go. Guys. 2 former games of the year, by the way, right there.
These are outstanding. Filling it on the boxes, except for the weird part that Rev was the thigh model for character here.
That's interesting trivia to pull that out.
The fact that Rev was in fact the thigh model. Yeah, again, both awesome boxes, and on the back, that's great graphics right there.
Yeah, these guys are. We've talked about it before. These guys are pushing the Intellivision so that it's like you're looking at a fairly low res NES game. The way that they're able to take advantage of what that chip can do. It just looks like a different system than the stuff that was coming out in 1982.
It really is something else. Oh, there you go. It doesn't get any better than Hotel Bunny.
Hotel Bunny.
Nice. I mean,
I was also thinking Sorrow of that same kind of category for me.
Another game of the year candidate, right? Or candidate, another game of the year winner. Digital that year was out with the COVID and stuff and the problem with the chips, but still game of the year right there. I got my games of the year sitting here beside me to pull out the old ones, the past ones for when we do that category. But anyway, let's not wait long. Let's look at this year's and see which nominee won this year's award for best graphics. Here we go. There it is. Congratulations, William Muller, Palista Avenue Redux, a game by Maurizio Basab, Electronite release, program by Carlos Badruga, graphics by Justin Cheer. Justin's in the chat as well. So thank you, Justin, for all the great work that you do, man. Congratulations on this game. It was wonderful to look at. There it is. Congratulations, Justin. You are the man. Thank you, Jeff, for getting that up there. Absolutely beautiful. Let's see. Do I miss anything? And of course, this is one of the very last games that Carlos created prior to his retirement from programming. So what a gem to go out on, right?
Yeah, I played this on my Extra Life Day. Oh, by the way, Extra Life
Day. There you go. Nice.
I played this on my Extra Life Day stream this past October, whenever it was. And wow, was I like at times, I think, genuinely startled by some of the graphics in this. It's those splash screens, those event screens that pop up that show this otherworldly stuff is happening, and man, it's startling at times. That's a game I'm going to play a lot of for sure.
Right on. Chris, what were you saying?
I just said Rick should use startling more.
It's startling. Is what it is.
So one thing I just want to point out is Justin has worked on a lot of games that you don't know Justin has worked on. Isn't that the truth, guys?
He took over for me because the first 50 or so homebrew games, it was initially me, but he's better than I.
Don't step aside.
It's good for you to like give someone else a chance.
My stickman drawings were not cutting it, apparently.
That's hilarious. All right, we'll check the chart out and see what all the votes were here. Right there. Make sure I don't get the wrong one. So look at that. That's a pretty dominant win right there by Palista Avenue Redux in the graphics. So, man, Carlos and Justin, kudos to you guys.
But like, there's not a bad looking game on that list though. They're all really good, but Palista is just really up there.
Yeah, 100%. So right on. All right, let's jump right on to the next one. Where are we going next? Okay, so we got another little dry time. I got a couple things I got to do here, and take a look at this again by Slappy Marsden. All right. Gotta love it, right?
I think those hot dogs are in the sun too long. I'm not sure.
All right. The game yet here. Okay. Next up, we have the award for best sound and music, and that's certainly something that the Intellivision is very well known for. Incredible music on some of these games, isn't there, guys?
Yeah,
I think I go the most with actually. When we get to this category each year, I'm like, I don't. Unless one really, really stands out, I'm like, those are fine. They were all good. Yeah.
I was playing some of these, just to refresh myself before the show here tonight. Playing some of these the other day, and I remember I'm forgetting which one it was now. But I was playing this and thinking, this sounds a lot like an NES game, like just the sheer amount of like tunage and just things that was going on, and some of the riffy things that were going on in the music loop was like, oh, so yeah, it's we've definitely come a long way with this stuff.
100%. So, like just said, this one's going to be a friggin' tough one, and we'll see when we check out the standings here too. But anyway, let's go
for Carnival, right? I mean,
yeah, next to Carnival.
Yeah.
Carnival. Carnival, Mousetrap.
Yeah. Didn't we try to like put in a new rule that Carnival's eligible for this every year, starting?
The best music.
Standard against which all others are measured.
Yeah.
Right?
Carnival's one of Jeff's favorites.
Do you play with the sound option?
Yeah, I shoot that little sound icon as soon as I can.
It's awesome. It's the whole game for me. It's just shooting that. I don't know anything. Just shut up.
And of course, when we're streaming on like Tuesday nights, what game do you want us to play? There's always some guy in the smart ass in the chat that goes, named Salvatore, who goes, Jeff wants to play Carnival.
No one.
Anyway,
no one wants to play Carnival. I want to just put that out there.
Let's check it out and see who won Best Sound and Music. Can I find it? There it is. There it is. Here we go. There it is right there. Best Sound and Music, Mr. Do.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Got to be Mr. Do. No arguments, he says. I love it, Benvril. Man, yeah. Right. This page. Look out, Cat. Incoming paper. Congratulations once again to Willie at Homebrew Inc. For Mr. Do, winning Best Sound and Music. Anonymous title. That's 2 awards for Mr. Do, which is a great showing. I mean, fantastic, really. The music and the sound effects are pretty incredible. Like, Jeff, don't you think so?
Well, I never played the arcade. I'm guessing the music is kind of dead on with the arcade. Is that right?
It is pretty good. It is pretty good.
And
well, I'll give it that then.
We talk about the music sometimes. It's a lot. There's a lot of music, and there is a lot of music, and that's what I remember from the ColecoVision game as well. What do you think about that, Chris and Rick? I mean, we talked earlier about didn't have a whole lot of history, but the music's never ending.
Yeah, this is a very musical game. Yeah. In the arcade, and a good port's going to carry that over, and this one does.
Yeah.
And in particular, the going up the musical scale as you grab those groups of 8 cherries.
Yes.
Yeah, like, and that just really, as you're playing it, you're like, yep, this is what Mr. Do should sound like, as well as the tune that's playing while you're doing your thing. It's just really well done, and it knows how to switch which tune it's playing based on what you're doing.
Yeah.
As opposed to games like Carnival. and Mousetrap and other things like that.
Now, Luke mentioned in there a light gun Carnival. That's not a bad idea because change the gameplay better, make it better. I actually like that, but with different music.
Please, a better sound engine, for goodness sake.
At least not quite as piercing and repetitive. You know, oh my God.
Maybe an 80s soundtrack. You know,
there you go. There you go. That would be pretty neat, you know. And let's put the slide up to take a look at this, because this is a really interesting one. Take a look at this.
Oh well.
That is our close. That is a close match right there. Closest one so far. Gotta love seeing Mermaid Enchanted Ocean up in there too, like with getting some real good because the music in Mermaid is excellent.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Goonies is another one that has that kind of a soundtrack running while you're doing stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Luke, Custer's Revenge will be Sound Music Game of the Year winner next year. All right. We're going to hold you to that, buddy.
Charge of that. I worry about the moaning and the other things.
I worry about a lot of that, actually.
Pallisto, the music and sound in Pallisto was absolutely great as well. I mean, and so was Road Fighter. My God, those are 5 fantastic games for sound and music. And I think, again, it just attributes how over the top Mr. Do truly was. It sounds, sometimes it's difficult to make that consistent of music and not end up like Carnival. And they did a great job. The programmer did a fantastic job with Mr. Do and the other ones as well. But
we're at a point homebrew wise, I think we're just kind of expected that there's probably going to be decent music kind of playing behind what you're doing, and we kind of almost we kind of expect a tune or two, like, you know, when it switch levels, we kind of expect the music to change. Now it's such a different expectation than, again, you know, the way the television library was started, where it was just sound effects and maybe a tune at the end. This is so much. It's just gotten so much better.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so before we move on to the top award, the big one is all that's left, guys. But it's very much up in the air. We've seen a lot of different winners. I think we've seen 4 different winners so far, the 7 categories. That's pretty impressive. It truly is. It's a great showing by so many wonderful games. We do have one more big announcement from Intellivision Collector. And let's take a look at what it is, because it's sort of going to lead into what we were talking about just about 3 or 4 minutes ago. So that's pretty big news right there. We were talking about how we have these great products coming out for the Intellivision system, hardware things. But Duck Hunter was it so far to use for it. Now another one is coming. We talked about Light Gun Carnival. There you go. Light Gun Carnival. Also, we have this other light gun game coming with a collection. Now, there's not much detail out on it yet, but it'll come out in the very near future. Luke has it almost ready to go, I should say. I'm not sure. There's no date per se yet, but it is coming. And then you also have the IC Duo, which is a Pi RTO 2 Duo, is the way I was just asked to make sure I described it as, which is the Pi RTO that will play JLP games. Okay, so it's actually going to be as good as the LTO Flash is my general belief. Okay, so that's really a pretty big thing, and these are all going to be available from Intellivision Collector. Also available from Intellivision Collector is going to be Inti-Nesses. Okay, from 8-bit widgets. You're going to get them through Intellivision Collector. Yeah, right there. And also IntelliPorts or Inti-Ports. Inti-Ports, Inti-Nesses. Formerly IntelliPorts, Intelli-Ness, but it's been changed to Inti-Port, Inti-Ness for various reasons. But
okay,
that they are going to be available from Intellivision Collector with the RTOs, ICITO, Intellivision Collector Duo.
It's a variant. It's a variant, Chris. You're going to want to make sure you get the.
There you go.
Both the IntelliPort and the Inti-Port. I mean,
things.
So this whole topic that we're talking about right now, sort of, it's a perfect time to acknowledge some of the contributions to the Intellivision Homebrew community that is coming from outside the game programming aspect of it. And Carlos and I had talked about this, having a specific award, let's say, for contributions outside of the games. And I'm of the belief that's just a little bit too diverse, but at the same time, these people who are doing this work really need to be acknowledged for the great things that they're providing for the community. I mean, these items are diverse. How do they compete against each other for an award? It's difficult. And if you did, I think we have one answer. But whether it's something as simple as like Zio Creations on Etsy, making the binders for your overlays, I mean, stuff like that is out now. That's wonderful. They're USB sticks to use with the Sprint now, which is a wonderful thing. And Eric, I just got this last week. I know he sent it to me 3 months ago or 2 months ago. I just got it last week, so thank you so much for that. And I got it blank, which I was very happy to see that it came blank, Rev. But and then also you have, like I said, the work that these guys are doing, like FDR for Prez, Frank on the Atari Age forums, doing great work, along with 8-bit widgets, which is Russell Hofer, Caleb Garner, Russell being the technical guy, Caleb being the marketing and the final product guy. I mean, again, back to what like Rick was saying, we got the IntelliPorts, the Intelli-Nesses. Now we're going to be able to put those to more use, and don't worry about this. So this is like a prototype when it comes out, so it doesn't have the final case on it or anything. So these guys are doing some pretty incredible work. Whoever would have thought we'd be using a light gun on the Intellivision, right? I mean, and the IntelliPort, well, both of them not only give us the ability to use light guns, but various controllers of many different types. So, man, it's just so it's it's really interesting. 4-player games are now possible because of that.
You know what'll happen to PRG then, because that's maybe the only time it'll happen.
There you go. But we also have to talk about the elephant that's in the corner as well, because I think we had what's the most significant Intellivision hardware release, I would say, since the LTO Flash, right? Since that baby right there. And that is the old Intellivision Sprint right here. I mean, we have to acknowledge the work that PlayOn has done, Atari has done and provided us, because it's created an absolute boom in the community. It's brought so many people to the community. There are challenges, but there are so much more potential advantages for it that I really think that it's such a positive thing. I mean, almost immediately after its announcement for PRG last year, you saw an increase in activity around the Atari Age forums, around people interested in television, people saying, I'm going to get back into it and such, so many different products are released like this into the community, retro community in general. They're dropped, there's problems, they make their money, they run away. And that is just not what has happened with the Intellivision Sprint. They PlayOn listens to the people. It listens, tries to resolve issues, and they seem to be just as concerned about the player satisfaction as they are about the financial aspects. And believe me, they're selling out, so they got to be making some money, right? And I really want to acknowledge, of course, the one person who's been the face of PlayOn, whether it's on YouTube channels or in the forums, whatever, and that's Ben Jones, who has really done a lot for the community. So thank you, Ben, for everything you've done. It's just really something else to see. I met Ben when I was out there. I was out there in 2023, Chris, and I had done a video or two. It was when the 2600 Plus coming out, and he approached me and we talked for half an hour. What a great guy! But he showed me just at that moment that he wasn't here to make a buck. He was there because he wanted to make a friggin' kick-ass product, and he cared what people thought. And you're going to be seeing Ben more around. I mean, I'll be talking with him, whether it's with my Intellivisionaries Podcast hat or Papa Pete hat or a combination of both, whatever it is. But we will be seeing him in more in the future. So just this one little spot right here, I want to give a great acknowledgement and a special thank you to people like Frank, Caleb, Russell from 8-Bit Widgets, as well as Ben and PlayOn and all the great work that they've done bringing this Intellivision Sprint to the community, because if it's handled properly, I think it's going quite well. It's working its way through. It's going to be nothing but positive at the end of the day for the community. Yep. So
it's super
fair enough.
I have some of the challenges some others have had, but those are fixable.
Yeah.
Of the idea of it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And there have been challenges just for the community as a whole, not just individual with the controller issues and such. But like I said, it would have been so easy for so many companies just say, "Oh, okay, too bad," and that's not what they're trying to do. So I love it.
That's awesome.
All right, now off on that little diatribe, but I did want to give some acknowledgement to those guys because I think they really deserve it for the hard work that they've done and what they've provided for us for the last over the last year or so. It's time for the big one, the 2025 Intellivision Homebrew Game of the Year. And once again, before I do it, I want to congratulate all of the publishers, all of the programmers, all the contributors, the guys who do the boxes, the manuals, the graphics, the sound. Fantastic. And thank you, because we all love the people in here watching, love the Intellivision community, love playing the Intellivision games. It's because of you that we are able to do it as a bunch of old guys playing games when we were kids. So thank you. And remember, there are 10 nominees for this, so we can show a little bit of extra recognition. So without any further ado, let's take a look. Here's the big one, 2025 Intellivision Homebrew Game of the Year. Here we go. Congratulations to Luke Boudreau and Intellivision Collector for the 2025 Intellivision Homebrew Game of the Year, Montezuma's Revenge. Wow. Love it. It's great. It's a great game. What a great year for games.
Yeah.
It's such a huge undertaking to bring this game to us in this community, right? To make the deal. Thank you again to Robert Yeager for working it out and getting it to us as well. That's got to be a lot of appreciation for you.
So glad Luke was able to make that happen, right?
Yes. Yeah. And then after several months or a few months of no expectation of a digital release with the introduction of the Sprint to secure the digital release. And again, I'm going to tell you guys now, everybody watching, if you've not gotten your copy of this game yet, it is limited. It is limited to 200 physical copies and 300 digital copies. No more will be sold after that. It's not likely that there will be another license after that fact. They are probably less than 10% of each left. Get your copies and get them ASAP, or you probably will not be able to get one. Just to forewarn everybody. And it is a very worthy candidate. There's 10 worthy candidates a game of the year, but this was the crop right here.
Yeah. No, I mean, for me, it was a game of the year. It wasn't a debate, but that's a solid list of 10. Absolutely. There's a lot of good games in there, which is what you want each year, right? I mean, maybe Montezuma is not everybody's cup of tea, but if it's not their top game, clearly, when you put the votes up, you'll see. And I think we got up into the 80-odd vote range, which I think might be the highest, which is cool.
It is.
But yeah, the point is there's a nice mix of, look, probably not all 30-plus games are going to be gems. I get that. But best way to get there is do a few that are worth buying, and maybe it leads to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So that's solid. Good.
100%. What do you think, Rick?
Yeah, I mean, it's a like I said before, not a ton of experience playing it, but when I have played it, it's very good. It's good to see, and it's good. And so many games this year. It's a sign of a healthy community. It's good to see.
Excellent. Well, we got a visitor who's going to join us now. I'll hit the button, see how it works out, see where it pops, and we'll move around if need be. Look at this guy.
Hey.
Right,
how's it going?
Right there. Welcome, Carlos.
Thanks for having me. How's everyone doing?
Absolutely great. Absolutely great. Thank you. Thanks for having you. Thanks for having us and starting this all up a few years ago and getting it all back out to everybody in the community.
Yeah, no, I am the one to thank you guys for, keeping the tradition going. And I know there's a lot of hard work that goes into this by the committee. You invest a lot in these streams and other people in the community also, right? Invest time promoting this event and participating and engaging. So really appreciate that. It's very special to me that this continues, right? To me, this is a moment of celebration for the community.
Yeah.
Of course, big congrats to Luke and to Craig for making Montezuma happen, and congrats to other games. But, we're all winners in a sense that, we are celebrating the vitality of a 40-plus year platform, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I hope that if you're watching this and thinking about writing a homebrew, I hope you go ahead and do it. Or if you're thinking about collecting games, do it, or just playing them. Yes, I mean, we welcome the folks who may be coming back to the platform or discovering it through the Sprint. I believe you're seeing the impact of the newcomers, so to say, on the turnout for this year. The best voter turnout of the last 5 years. Really exciting.
Yeah.
So
I just got a little message here. I didn't show the screen with all the different game of the year candidates. Chris, you're supposed to keep me up on that, buddy.
I interrupt Carlos, but yes, you stuck.
All right, here it is. Look, there's the votes right there. So it's a pretty good spread as well. Look at that. Everybody getting some votes. So I think that just shows, it just shows, like Carlos saying, the strength in the community. Man.
Solid.
It's absolutely wonderful. Huh?
Solid list, right? Top to bottom.
Yeah, solid list, top to bottom, 100%. All right, we'll pull that down. So thank you, Carlos, again. And I suppose, guys, it's pretty much time to wrap things up here. Oh, yeah, well, this is my plan here. All right. There we go. So, congratulations once again to all the winners tonight. 4 different games won awards tonight. But not only congratulations to them, but all the different nominees, all the publishers. Again, I'll say programmers, contributors, everybody, whether they're nominated at the end of the day or not, if they're in that eligibility list at the very beginning of the video, that's thank you for that. Thank you for having made that game and having worked on it and dedicated your time for our fun, right? You guys are the reason that this community is so strong as it is today. Okay, special thanks as well. I want to thank Jeff. First of all, Jeff, thank you for being here with us every year and watching the chat. And
no problem.
We ramble a lot about television. I'm turning you into a television lover over the years, man. But he didn't have history with it, but he likes the system now just because it is a good system.
Because it's amazing.
I was an Atari kid.
You were an Atari kid. There you go. Thank you to Chris and Rick as well for joining me again this year. It's always an honor for me to have them here, and even more of an honor for me to be able to say I'm one of the Intellivisionaries podcasters now with them. And I look forward to bringing you guys all, or helping the 3 of us, and Paul too, hopefully a bit, and Steve Kraft as well. I don't want to forget Steve, who contributes to this podcast, which has been on now for 13 years. Go back and listen to the old ones. If you're new to the community, have a listen to those old podcasts. They're fantastic.
They're short.
Go back and listen to the old ones. They're short.
They're real short ones.
No more than 7 hours. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, we are going to have some shorter. Go ahead. Sorry.
Your quarterly membership dues are they're due, by the way.
There you go. Yeah. Checks in the mail, buddy.
So
Always tell that to the money guy. Once again, Carlos as well, thank you for all that you've done to get this award show back up and running. If you hadn't said something 5 years ago, you had the idea and you came to me, and I think it's gone together really well over the years. So that's beautiful. And
it would make me very sad to see this die, man. So I'm really glad that we're keeping it going.
Excellent. And we'll do the best we can from now on to keep it going for sure. Finally, thanks to every one of you guys out there watching tonight, because whether you've been here since 1979, you're just getting back into it because of the sprint, it's really all you guys that are keeping, that collect, that watch the videos, that buy the games, watch the streams, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for being here tonight. It's you guys that are keeping this 50-year-old system alive. So, yeah, doesn't get better than that. So, that's it for this year, guys. Don't all any of you guys drop out. We'll be back in just a minute behind the scenes. But for all of you watching, have a great night. Take care, and we will see you all again next year. Congratulations, Luke, and Montezuma's Revenge. Find this here. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.